Hi Bindu, how have you been and how is your digital detox going?
Don't ask me. I was thinking with the school over, I think I thought I could get a complete, um, I could just leave all my digital devices aside and I can have a proper vacation. But neither the vacation nor the digital detox is happening. The only thing that is happening religiously is my 6 cups of green tea, which is happening
And
pretty
did you
regularly. So I
detox?
guess my body detox is happening.
At least
Sorry.
that detox.
Yeah, at least that detox is happening, yeah, without much problem. Right. So that really is, so we know that, I mean, digital detox is not going to happen anytime soon. We know that, we have realized the importance of digital space now, so much so that all our family meetings and our little chats are now happening on the digital devices. So I guess this is here to stay.
So the whole year, this whole full term, a whole year we have been online. So what was the
Absolutely.
experience like? Let's talk about that. I mean, we just ended the whole year. So how was your
Yeah.
experience and what were the challenges I would like to know you faced?
Yeah, so I mean, you know that we were thrown into this, thing which came so abruptly and so suddenly, said that there was very little time, but we had to find ways and means of getting through this and do whatever was in our hands to see that the online classes happen smoothly. Yeah, some challenges remain. We know that, as I think if you talk to any teacher, one of the challenges is that to keep the child engaged through the session is never is an easy thing. When you have a class of 20, each one is a different one, and then we are, to some extent, there is limitations of not being in a physical classroom, particularly for a science teacher, right? Those hands-on things which we used to do pretty regularly as the demonstrations or the lab activities are not now happening
You're
as it should
talking,
happen.
you're talking to an art teacher, so just imagine the kind of limitations we have in studio.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I mean, I'm still. It's not very clear in my head as to how you do this. As a visual arts teacher, how do you do it as effectively
So
as you do
we
it in
learned and
physical space?
relearned a lot of things to get this year working for us.
So yeah, those challenges. So how do we develop that curiosity? How do we get their attention for that time? That we are there with us, and to keep them engaged throughout has never been an easy task. So those were some of the challenges that and attendance. And so you see a lot of dropouts happening within the class. After a few minutes, you'll see them they dropping out of the class, and there's little that as a teacher that you can do.
Cameras off. I mean, so many times you just have to put on your camera.
Yeah, that is in fact, the initial few minutes of the lesson goes in just trying to get them to understand the importance of keeping their videos on. And but eventually you will see a lot of them just going, either switching off the videos or even going out of the classroom online class. And we teachers are completely helpless in this matter. We had many meetings on this as to how do we get to, how do we get around this problem. So those were some of the challenges of the online
What
teaching,
what
which
kind
I
of
guess.
what kind of a tool or strategy did you use in your classroom?
Yeah, so as we went ahead with this whole online thing, and we had to think of ways and means of, and particularly as a science teacher, because how do we, continue to give them that visual stimulation, right? And stimulate them and gives the, if not hands-on as such, but then some sort of a look and feel of a lab, right? Or a science activity, right? So I think one of the things that I used pretty much regularly was some strategies of visible thinking routine, right? Whether it is see, think, wonder, or think, puzzle, explore, right? My classes generally started, at least a concept, when I'm introducing a concept, generally started with these routines. So initially, you just have to sort of visual stimulation. I mean, I completely agree, and I think you would agree more, is that the importance of visual, right? Visuals that as an art teacher, that visuals it's a very, very, very powerful tool,
For I mean,
right?
subject like
So
visual arts. I mean, everything is visual for us. So it was. I mean, it always an important tool, adds an important tool for everybody. I mean, every teacher, not even visual art, I mean, every teacher, visual, and more so now online, to grab their attention, something visual curiosity, if we talk about it. I mean, that's something that, generates the kind of attention you're looking for.
Yeah. So when you start, so whether it's a demonstration or a simple demonstration with whatever that we have with us, what is that is at our disposal, or just a short video clipping, or a poster, or a political cartoon. It could be just, you can just stimulate a child. Yeah. And then draw their attention towards that, and you can have you can generate a discussion around that visual, and this way you are, what you're trying to do is to develop that curiosity. And you can, and this can be taken further by actually documenting it. So you just ask the child, what do you see, what is that that you think is happening, and what do you want to learn, or what is that you wonder, right? So in this way, you're trying to embrace questioning, right? Which is one of the important tasks. If the child has a natural curiosity to ask questions, you're evoking that art of questioning in a child, and that also is learning, right? It's a window to further learning. Right. So so that way this routine is that, so that's not just about curiosity alone. It's also about developing the art of questioning in a child. And also you can synthesize and organize information depending on what kind of questions we we frame in the routine. You can even delve deeper into the concept if needed. So I think
very well thought activity, Bindu, right? It can be a very well thought and brought into the class with a bit of homework done, where you want to drive the students' curiosity.
Absolutely. For example, I just wanted to give you one example of one such activity that I've done. For example, when I'm introducing the topic of respiration, right? Now, respiration, I suppose, the core of the process is energy transformation, where energy is transforming from one form to another. So I just lighted a small spirit lamp or a candle and asked them what is happening here, right? So, it's interesting. Suddenly they see this candle burning, and then just have a few questions around that thing that they see, right? And which is a kind of energy transformation taking place. And then ask some pertinent questions to that, and then draw their attention to that, what is happening in front of them, to what is going to be taught, which is respiration. Right? Because respiration is a form of a combustion taking place inside your body. The food has been burnt in the presence of oxygen, right? Sometimes in the absence, right? And energy is generated, right? In this case, heat and light is created in the body. It's more useful form of energy in the form of a chemical molecule, right? So, so this is a very, very powerful.
I mean, that's a very
visually stimulating a child can be a very powerful.
Interesting example you gave me, because I cannot think of respiration that way. I mean, candle burning for me, respiration are two different things.
Two different things, isn't it? Yes. True. I can add very much. That's how it is for the first time when they see, and they can kind of suddenly everything seems to be, it starts falling in place.
Yeah.
Right, start making sense. Yeah. So that is one of the ways. So how have you done, if I have to ask this question to you, and put one strategy, because you being a visual artist?
I think it's the same strategy, more to do with visual stimulation. So so what you said, see, think, wonder, it's the same thing. I mean, just show them some videos or something, or walk into some interesting. I mean, this was one activity I had seen somewhere, which I tried to do in class, and it really worked and evoked a lot of curiosity around the whole thing. So I used to open a class with something, a piece of art, a piece of design, anything, a piece of writing sometimes, the way it was written, something. And then for us, visual art, there are so many mediums that we use. So there are installations, there are sculptures, not just paintings. So going beyond a 2D medium, showing them some video art. So something, I opened the class with that. And then everything, obviously, the strategy was well placed earlier, how I wanted the class to go beyond that visual to something which I wanted them to achieve. So yeah, that was, if you rotate around, it's the same strategy, what you were telling me, but then I start my class with something I bring into
You
the
probably
class.
start and end with it.
Yeah, for me, it's like,
Right. Isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. So I think so these are powerful tools. I mean, this is, and I it has really worked for me. I know, for I'm pretty, because in a couple of, it's not just this concept alone. I've tried this out in many other, it's sometimes even an abstract design. And I've heard this thing somewhere where the class teacher always walks in, there's somebody who always walks in with a piece of abstract piece of design in his hand every day. Sometimes it's a awkward looking cup, or it could be some weird looking something, right?
Something
He
that
has in
can
his
grab
hand.
attention, I would say. Something that
Just trying, yeah, the
there's
teacher's trying to
something
just grab the attention.
there's something different.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the children are always on the lookout. The moment he walks in, they're all looking towards his hand because they want to know what is there in his hand.
And then it
And
breaks the monotony of everyday class, I think.
absolutely, rather than you just putting down that thing up on the board and then just starting, it's
So this,
you're back to the same thing. Yeah.
so the strategy that we are discussing right now, this is offline and online class both. I mean, it works
Oh.
both. So, but only that I feel it's more so ever, it's most important right now, because
Yeah.
we need to even know, are we getting attention or not? I mean, in a
Right.
physical class, you can see there is a tension happening. Here,
Correct.
it's very difficult to understand if the tension is there or not.
Not.
Yes.
And then, they
All
get
the
so
time.
bored by seeing one person speaking and then this
Right.
monologue happening every day. You need to sort of give them something different each time so that they come to the class thinking, okay, this time, what are we going to see?
Right.
Yeah. So that's a very nice way to engage students. And once you have them engaged in the process of learning, and there is a natural curiosity which is driving them, the rest of the process then falls in place. Right.
Yes, it was very good. I mean, this conversation has been beautiful, and we are fully aligned what strategy we're using, and that works. I mean, good example.
Yeah, that works.
That worked. And
Absolutely.
another thing which I feel I always wanted to connect on this with you. What I mean, how can we bring more curiosity towards reading? So that is something I think we can talk. So I'm done with
over a detox cup of green tea. Next time, maybe.
Next time, let's talk about it. Let's get back to it, because I'm very worried about getting them to read. So
definitely. So so the digital detox is out now. We are going to be back at on a conversation like this very soon.
Talking on a digital screen right now. Yeah. Having a cup of coffee together on a screen, right?
Yeah. This seems to be now this is going to be the way we're going to meet for a couple of months at least. Yeah.
Nice talking to you, Bindu. Let's talk.
Same here. It was wonderful, Gunjan. It was lovely. I mean, it's just this freewheeling talk. There's so much to learn and understand. And we need to.
Our experiences. I think it makes sense, because it connects us to a level where we can share experiences that worked for us, which is very important, I think, to anybody who's listening.
That which worked and that which did not, and what is that one can do, to see that some of these also works and becomes more effective in an online teaching space. Yeah.
Okay. See you next
time.
See you soon.
Sure.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.